Yo, what's going on? Derek here, looking to do some lead follow-up. Nothing too crazy, just been kind of neglecting it. If you caught my last video, you'll know why. I've been out of town and been reinvesting the money that I got from the last deal back into the business. So I've been kind of focusing on that, which is kind of taken away from me generating new leads and following up with my warmer ones too, which is something that I definitely, if anything, I want to try to reconnect with my warmer leads. Like I said, if anything, if I'm trying to do one or the other, either generate new leads by cold calling or follow up with my warmer leads. If I had to pick one, I want to be able to at least follow up with my warmer leads here. So I'm gonna go through the list of leads that I have in the pipeline here. Try to pick out ones that I think are going to be better conversations if I do connect with them. So I'm going to get going on that in just a second here. What I'm doing, something else that I've been doing with this coaching program that I've joined, I've gained access to a lot of new documents and material that I'm trying to implement as well. Like I printed out like a new cold calling script for myself so that I can kind of follow and implement that. Just like changing, making little tweaks here and there, kind of making the script my own as well, so that I'm not sounding like a robot. Um, and also like documents like the purchase agreements. So I am going to use a new purchase agreement. Um, Going to be using a new purchase agreement. So I just want to kind of familiarize myself. I'm just going to give it a one over real quick right now, just in case somebody does. Um, just in case somebody does end up agreeing, I want to be able to walk them through it and have a little bit of knowledge of the document before. Okay, this isn't even the right one. A little bit of knowledge of the document. Hopefully, I'd saved. If not, I'm cool with using my old one. But the new one for my coach, some things that it does that the one that I currently use does not is extends. This is the main thing is it extends the inspection period to run the duration or the length of the entire contract up until the closing date. Um, so it's just stuff like that. If that makes sense. Yeah, it didn't save. Damn. So I'm gonna have to do that again. But that's cool. I'm just gonna get back to the calling. So yeah, that's stuff like that. Uh, Trying to think of what else it does, but it does stuff like that by just kind of not going into great detail. Whereas mine is like, I need an inspection period. The inspection period ends here. I think the language in the new agreement is like, contingent upon approval of an inspection, stuff that, and again, he makes it clear not to just, take his stuff and run with it without consulting an attorney. Obviously, he's, obligated to say that. But at the same time, I know that he is consulting his attorney on this same contract because he uses it in his business. So um, I'm making the decision not to consult an attorney. I wouldn't make that recommendation to anybody, but obviously you make your own decision. So do what you feel is right. Gonna start with this one. This was a good one. Her name was Miss Woodall. I connected with her back in June. Uh, she said that they had considered selling and said that they probably won't sell for another year, but gave me permission to follow up in 6 months. I followed up in 3 months in September. She confirmed that they were interested in selling possibly in 4 to 6 weeks. But I had caught her right when she sat down for dinner. And this is one that I'm pretty, I'm got my fingers crossed that I haven't missed out on. This could easily be a deal that got taken from me right under my nose because of everything that was going on. My second deal that was pushing forward, the vacation that I took. So keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm going to dial her right now, see if I can just kind of reconnect, revisit that conversation, maybe get something going. I've already kind of run comps on it, have my, as long as, it does need a fair amount of work, kind of have a buy price here as well. But obviously I'm going to have to figure out what type of work it needs. So let me dial up right now for her. Gosh, this fucking Stuff right outside my window is always a nuisance. Hello? Sorry, bud. Sorry. Well, that was annoying. That is the number that I have connected with her before. I'll give her a quick double tap, just in case. See what's really going on. You can lay back down. Give it one more ring. All right, double tap. No answer. No opportunity to leave voicemail. Follow up with her tomorrow because again, this is a hot one. She told me that she was wanting to sell in 4 to 6 weeks, about 5 weeks ago. So definitely something that I'm trying to stay on top of. Victor Ramos. Give him a call. This gentleman actually called me back at one point because I had followed up with him unsuccessfully so many times. And he called me back just to let me know that he was interested in selling. I just haven't talked to him since. Hello?
This is Victor Ramos. Please leave your name and number.
I'll leave a message.
Thank you. Thank you and have a great day.
Hey, Victor, this is Derek. We've been going back and forth about your property over on Texas Street. Just wanted to round back with you, see how things were. I think last time we spoke, you were wanting to speak with your tenant and just kind of have a little bit more of a formal conversation with them, let them know that you were interested in possibly selling the property just so it didn't catch them off guard. It sounded like you also had a lot of land that we may be interested in as well. So just looking to reconnect, see how things were. Whenever you get a chance, if you can give me a call back at your earliest convenience, it'd be much appreciated. Just in case you didn't, the caller ID didn't pop up with my number here, my direct line is 832-324. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Now, that voicemail. He has, yeah, he had let me know. I was just kind of looking at the notes right as I was dialing here. He had, it sounded like he partnered with somebody on a lot of land that he was wanting to sell. So last time we spoke, he was just needing to like kind of cross his T's and dot his I's before he had that real conversation with me about numbers and selling the property here. This woman, Catherine, interested in selling, but yeah, recording live video.
Okay, well, I'm like running out the door right now and he's hungry. When I have a chance,
Yeah.
please feed him.
Yeah. Um, Catherine spoke with her in August. First week of August, she was interested in selling, but she just had surgery on that. She wasn't ready to move forward with anything for another 2-ish months. I was trying to put it in her head, like, well, okay, no. The first conversation I asked, I was saying, do you want to wait to have that conversation for 2 months, or do you want to have the property sold in 2 months so that you can walk away from it in 2 months? She's like, no, I want to have that conversation in 2 months. All right. Um, but I rounded back with her like 2 weeks after that. Um, Spoke with her daughter. Mother was unavailable. Connected with the woman the 1st of September. I had brought the property up and she hung up on me. I tried back and right after she hung up and she disconnected it before answering. So I left the voicemail saying, hey, we had talked about it before. You would let me know that you were wanting to sell, just kind of wanting to revisit that conversation. And then I called her a week after that, spoke with somebody, mentioned that they weren't there and wouldn't be back till late. So it's been a month since she last hung up on me. Give her a call now, just again try to revisit that conversation. This is somebody who, even though she has told me, like, or clearly not wanting to talk about the property, at one point she specifically told me that she was wanting to sell. So I'm not just gonna take that hang up and chalk it up as a loss. I'm gonna continue following up with her. Maybe not as aggressively as I would have if she didn't hang up on me, but again, it's been a month, and at this rate, it's been 2 months since she told me 2 months. So maybe she's ready to have that conversation. Maybe in the beginning she just wasn't ready to have that conversation because again she was saying 2 months, but I called her in a month, and again she just wasn't ready to have that conversation. So let me give her a ring, see what's going on.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi there. This message is for Miss Lewis. This is Derek. We had spoke a few months ago in regards to your property over on Quail Street. You had let me know that I believe you just had surgery and you weren't really wanting to move forward with selling the property until you had time to rehabilitate and recover from that surgery, which is completely understandable. I just wanted to round back with you, kind of revisit that conversation, see if you've given it any more thought, and I just wanted to confirm that you were still interested in selling that property over there on Quail Street. When you get a chance, if you can please give me a call. My direct line here is 832-324. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hmm. Voicemail. Call her in like mid next week, Wednesday next week. Try to get somebody on the phone. What's going on? Okay, this woman, a little frustrating. We had come to an agreement on price. What's going on with hers, I think she has a memorandum of contract filed on the property, which is actually clouding the title, which means that anybody now who goes to buy her property won't be able to buy it. Well, they won't be able to clear the title um, if they find a kind of a shady title company that's willing to, transfer title to a new buyer's name with the title not being cleared. And if the buyer is okay with that, then it can be done. But what happened was she entered into an agreement with another buyer. That buyer went to the county, filed a memorandum of contract on file, which puts everybody on notice. It's filed directly with the county, puts everybody on notice that this buyer has equitable interest in the property and that they have the intention on buying this property. Now, it's kind of it can be used properly and it can be used unethically. Some people build their whole business model around going direct to seller, agreeing to any price that the seller says with zero intention of actually ever buying the property. they just go file the memorandum at the county. And then when somebody like me comes along or another buyer comes along and they start talking to the seller says, yeah, sure, let's do it. I get the agreement signed. I bring it to my title company. My title company runs title and sees, hey, Joe Schmo filed a memorandum on this property. We're not going to be able to transfer title until he removes his memorandum and title is now clear and not quote unquote clouded. Um, so what people will do when they use that unethically is just do that, what I said, go file it, and then just sit back and wait until the next buyer comes along. And what I would have to do is get in contact with that guy and pay him out essentially. Hey, I'll pay you $1,000, $2,000 for you to remove your memorandum so that I can actually buy this property. Um, Again, very unethical on his end, and I don't know if that's what's happening here, but it kind of seems like it. Um, because again, she's interested in selling the property, and I don't know why she wouldn't just excuse me, go back to the gentleman and say, hey, I'm ready. It sounded like there was miscommunication while they were in the heat of the moment, and he was needing to do his inspections, but she works, and he was never able to get a hold of her, and that's what her excuse was. So not saying it's an excuse, but that's what was going on. But I didn't find out about this until after me and her had come to a verbal agreement, and I was getting ready to literally send her the contract to sign. But now she started getting weird about it and was like, "Oh no, like send it over and I'll take a look." And I was like, "Well, I'll send it over when you're ready to sign. That way I can walk through it with you." You never want to send them an agreement before they're ready to sign. You want them to commit to you before you just start tossing out contracts. Because one of two things is going to happen, and I preach about this. One, they're going to shop your offer. They're going to get, I believe we agreed to 62,000. So I send her an agreement for 62,000, and she just waits for the next investor to call her, which I'm sure multiple people are calling her. And she says, well, I have an offer for 62,000. Can you do 63? And of course they're going to be able to do 63. What's $1,000 cutting into their profit? Um, so that's one. And two, which is kind of, let me close this window. Two, which is kind of the reason that I go to tell them is I just don't want you to misunderstand anything. As a courtesy, we stay on the phone with the homeowners as they go through the agreement. That way, if they have any questions or concerns that pop up, I'm right there on the phone to address them. I just don't want you to misinterpret anything and then make a decision one way or another. And that's what I say, and that it kind of sounds like a little salesy, but it's the truth. Because what will happen is she'll get it, she'll be ready to sign, and she reads it, and then she reads one line, doesn't understand it, and it's like, what does this mean? Never mind, and then she puts it down. Any barriers or level of friction that's put out in front of her is going to be just another reason for her to walk away. So I'll give her a call.
Hello?
Hey, Alice.
Yes,
Alice, how's it going? This is Derek.
going okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to round back with you. I know it's been a while since we last spoke. I don't know if you remember, but we've been going back and forth about your property over on Edgeworth Street.
Yes.
Yeah, did you have a time to talk? I know you're usually at work around this time. I wanted to make sure I caught you at a good time.
I will call you back around 4 o'clock.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay then.
All right, I'll talk to you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now. That's in 30 minutes, her time. So I'll set myself a follow up. If I don't hear back from her in 30 minutes, I'll call her in an hour. Connected. Connected with seller. Busy at the moment. She will. But yeah, that's a good one. If I can, that's essentially what's going to have to happen though. I'm going to have to round out back with the investor who made that offer to her and who filed that memorandum. First, I have to confirm that it's actually a memorandum. Well, first I have to um, get on the same page with the seller and let her know that that's something that can be handled after the fact. Because what was happening was I was trying to say that like, look, we can. This will pop up on a title search once we put an agreement together and once I start the title search at my title company, and then we can handle it. Then we'll was the same. Cross that bridge when we get there. But she was in the mode of let me find the old investor's number. I want to talk to him first. I was like, no, this guy's doing you dirty. He screwed you over. Now we have to jump through hoops just to get your house sold. Let me take care of it, right? But she wasn't really going for that. So that's pretty much the conversation that I'm gonna have to have with her in a little bit here when she calls back or when I connect with her again. Another one, Elvia mentioned she wasn't ready yet when I asked. She let me know that her grandson was thinking about buying it and moving in. He's getting married next year, and that's when he would move in if he were to move in. She is retired and plans to move back to her hometown in Mexico if her grandson were to move in. And I received permission to follow up. And this was in April when I had this conversation with her. So let me call her. She's going to pretty much find out if the grandson's buying it. If not, I'd love to learn a little bit about it.
Hello.
Hi, Elvia.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. This is Derek. We had spoke a few months back in regards to your property over on North Park Street. She's not interested, but that's cool. Again, this is one where filed, connected, hung up once property was mentioned. I'm going to follow up with her in a month. Because again, she told me at one point that it's either going to be her grandson buys it or she sells it. So it's worth it to me to have a take 5 seconds out of my day to dial her number and get hung up on again, because people's circumstances change. I may call her next month and she may realize, oh shit, my grandson isn't gonna buy this place. I should start actually entertaining these conversations. Um, that's an ideal situation for me, but it's just a numbers game. I'm gonna run into 100 people that do exactly that. Tell me at one point, entertain the conversation at one point, and then when I follow up with them, they hang up. And it's really whatever. I just need to have that kind of abundance mindset to know that there's 100 people right behind her in line right now who are in my market who are desperately waiting on somebody like me to call them and help, help solve their problems. People are, and I don't want to go on a rant here, but people are lazy. They put themselves, especially these type of people, they put themselves in financial situations where they can't dig themselves out of it, and they pray that the government, they pray that their family member, they pray that their spouse, they pray that anybody is going to come along and fix the issue that they created. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what wholesalers do. They find people with problems, and as soon as I started to flip the switch in my head about finding these people to make money for myself and started to approach it with finding people with problems to solve, you really do get surprised with the type of conversations that you have, with that alone. And that's how I treated the first two deals that I got, and just made sure that I was taking care of them. And I lost money, not lost money, but made less money than I could have if I didn't. I offered the tenant $500 on the first one, cash for keys. That's going to set her up so that she can transition smoothly. Second one, I think I only thing on that one is, I really think I gave my cash buyer a really good price, but he offered sight unseen and he signed the contract without even walking the property. So it was worth it to me, a couple $1,000. This one, also in that same little city. I like the city. Pasadena is the city. If anybody has any leads in Pasadena, Texas, let me know. I have buyers. Only interested in selling for around tax assessed value. Home's in pretty good condition. Recently painted. Roof installed 5 years ago. Garage converted to master bedroom with master bath. Original hardwood floors in living room and bedroom. Ceramic tile in kitchen dining area. Updated kitchen 5 years ago. New windows. HVAC put on 5 years ago. So this is kind of one where it's probably a little too nice to buy at a discount and build equity into it through renovations. 'Cause that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for people who the property is a little distressed, and by making a $10,000 repair, it inflates the value of the property 20,000. If that makes sense. You're building equity into the property by making the renovations. Um, Okay, and that was my partner who connected with him in May. I connected with him in July. Hugo mentioned that he may be interested in selling, but that he received an offer for 145 and he declined it. Um, to put this into perspective, his Zillow estimate is 156, so I would be nowhere near 145. Derek let him know that he wouldn't be a good fit because he wouldn't be able to beat that. Hugo asked what Derek's offer would be. I let him know that he would likely be in the neighborhood of 50 to 80. Hugo declined and mentioned that tax assessed value was 101. And this is my note to myself. I was saying this leads me to believe that he might not have actually received that offer for 145 and that he's really looking for that $100,000 mark. Because again, if you recall, my partner spoke with him and said that he needed at least tax assessed. And now he's saying that he received an offer $45,000 over tax assessed value and that he declined it. Um, so I sent myself a follow up right now. Follow up with him, revisit, try my best to reset his expectations. That's something that I'm really not great at yet. Yet I want to make that yet because I have every intention on becoming better at it. But this place is also pretty nice. It's not well. I'm looking at pictures, so it looks like he may have even tried to sell it either for sale by owner at one point, or this is how it looked when he bought it back in 2013. Is the last activity that I see on Zillow, and it's livable, but it needs some serious updating. Um, some serious updating. It's really outdated, but again, it's livable. So that's probably why his head's in the clouds a little bit about the price that he's able to get for it. But let's see, Hugo, my man. My girl's been getting on me about using my regular voice when I call people. I feel the need to sound a little bit more metro for some reason. I think people are less rude to me, but I'll try to come with a try to come. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Hugo?
Hello? Yeah.
Hugo, how's it going? This is Derek. We spoke a few months back in regards to your property over on Tupelo Ave.
Okay.
Yeah. Last we spoke, I think you were fielding offers on the property there. You sounded pretty interested in selling it. Just wanted to round back, see if you give it any more thought, or if you actually sold the place there.
I don't sell yet, but like I say, I don't really want to sell, but if it's a good offer, I'll sell. I say why not?
Okay.
How much you offer?
I'm not sure. It, really does depend on the condition. I'd love to obviously give you exactly what you're asking for, but for us, we'd have to enter in, and we would, as an investor, need a little room to make a profit. Just so I put that out there up front, and I would only want to make it work if it made sense to you too. Did you have a number in mind that you'd be hoping to get for it?
No, I really not. But and I know, and all the price is going up.
The
I know about that already.
you see, like you're in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
What are they selling? What are they selling for? Do you know?
Okay. I want to say, sell to 150 to 200 normal houses because like 2-3 houses by my house, they wanted a 204. I don't know if you see already on the system on the whatever. I know, and they tell me they put a new window. But I mean, it's I think it's too much, But like I say,
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
just to kind of reiterate, I don't know if you recall the last conversation that we had, but it's my.
I remember, man. I don't feel you too. Man, my mind is all fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Well, yeah, yeah, like I say, but if you make a good offer on the neighborhood, the house is a good condition. I
Yeah.
mean, it is like a pain inside.
Hello?
Uh, doing all the stuff with she works, paint, and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and I did just kind of want to remind you and let you know. So it's my partner and myself. We like the area, we like the city there, and we're looking to. We got some cash on hand, and we're looking to buy, one, maybe two more properties within like the next 30 to 60 days. So we can come in cash. We can make the transaction nice and smooth and convenient for you. Really not much that you would have to do on your end, and we can get you paid, in 30 to 45 days if that's something that you're interested in.
okay, look, like I say, just make a offer and maybe it's a kid, you gonna okay,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So
yeah. Yeah, and did I catch you at a good time? I'd love to kind of learn a little bit more about the property and what's going on with it. But I don't want to, take up too much of your time if I caught you in the middle of something.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, well, no, it's no problem. Like I say, if you got your number online already, just let me know.
Yeah, yeah. So I got some notes from my partner here in my system, so I can see some of the kind of repairs that you've done, some of the renovations, and I'm also looking at Zillow, and it has the pictures up there. Are those pictures recent?
Um, no,
No. So have repairs been made and work been done to it after those pictures there?
no, it's a fake thing. I don't know what you're talking about. What kind of repair you're talking about?
Oh, okay. Let me see. So I got here in my notes that it looks like you had painted the inside and the outside. It looks like you replaced the roof about 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Converted the garage to a master bedroom.
Yeah.
Looks like you updated the kitchen a few years back as well. New windows,
Uh-huh.
new
Yeah.
HVAC, and you got a carport there with a covered deck as well. Is that correct?
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. And with that addition, with that master bedroom, does that make it three bedrooms?
It's a three bedroom, two bed, and one bed got jacuzzi on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds nice.
Okay. Okay. So, and when I buy the house, I put a new kitchen, brand
Mm.
new kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. How long have you owned the property?
I want to say about 10 years,
Oh,
or
okay.
no, maybe it's 7 years, something like that.
Yeah,
Seven,
yeah.
8 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it sounds like a property that we might be interested in here. I just out of curiosity, after 10 years, why are you thinking about selling it?
Okay. No, I don't know that. I mean, like I said, if you got the number on mine
Mm-hmm.
already, throw the number, and I can tell you right away. Hey, no, it's too low, or
Yeah.
we can talk.
Well, you tell me what's the lowest number that you might consider?
I don't know, but I never did to you already. I don't mean, like two times. If you got number, say it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got you. And I just want to make sure, I don't want to insult you or anything like that. Are you currently renting it out?
Um, yes,
Okay.
my daughter is there on the house.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And give or take, it's about 1,100, 1,150 square feet.
I'm not sure what the dimensions of the it's on the papers on the city information.
Okay. All right. And now, again, just out of curiosity, you said your daughter's living there.
Yeah.
What would the plan be if I were to make you an offer and we can come to an agreement here?
No, no, it's no problem. I told her already because she got problem with her husband, so maybe she's looking for another place, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And just to let you know, that's something that we're willing to help out with, or kind of accommodate
no,
as
no,
well.
no,
Because
no, no,
I
no, it's not, no, no. I
okay.
not your,
Because yeah, I get in the habit of letting people know how quickly we can close and how quickly we can get them paid. But if you do need time,
yeah,
for her to find a new place or move out, we're willing to,
yeah,
kind of work on your timeline, just to let you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, just to kind of put it out there, again, we are coming in with cash. We could cover all of the closing costs, all of, there's no commissions or anything like that. We will buy the property, completely as is. So you're not really needing to make any repairs to it. And for an offer like that, we would be, comfortable right around the $80,000 mark.
no, 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 because the price on the house on the taxes is like 110.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so and I know that I can sell for more
hmm
than what the
So
taxes
I already
is,
got them down to
you
110.
know.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Now,
yeah,
is if I were able to come, closer to maybe like the $100,000 mark, is that something that you think that you might entertain?
um, let me tell you this. I mean, I doubt it because like I said, the other house by my house is on 204, and I know I can sell easy for 150, 160 in my house
Mm-hmm.
because it's not too much different on the houses, you know.
So you
That
think
house is
you think your house it kind of it's pretty similar to the houses that we're selling for over 200,000?
um, yeah, I want to say yes because the only difference is that the new paint and all that, you know, but the new paint is not.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't really done my homework. We are quite familiar with the area. And, just off the top of my head, just to kind of throw it out there, I would think that your property may be able to sell for 170. And I only tell you that honestly. I want to be direct with you. I don't want it to seem like I'm lying to you by any means, but we had just
Yeah,
just closed on a property over there in Pasadena, and our hopes for it after it's all repaired is that it sells for 170 on the back end. Um, and that one needed quite a bit of work though. So I mean, I'll do my homework in the area. Again, I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting your time, because if you think that you can get 150 to 160, I actually encourage you to try to do that. I would think
yeah.
that it would probably be, you selling it on the market to get that price. Have you ever thought about that, listing it with an agent to be able to get that price?
Uh, no, no, not yet,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not yet.
And again, I just want to reiterate, uh, you know, the taking the traditional route and listing it with an agent, I will always encourage if somebody wants to get top dollar for their property. But just know, that what I'm offering here is substantially easier than listing it through an agent. Again, we're coming with cash, we're handling all of the costs and the fees, and it's gonna be,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen a lot quicker, and we can get you paid a lot quicker than if you were to list it on market.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
hmm
yeah.
So let me ask you, and this will be the final question I ask you. If I go do my homework and I'm able to come up on my offer price above that 80,000 and get somewhere closer to 100, should I give you a call back?
Like I say, no, if it's not no, well, I can do nothing because, like I say, if you offer 100, that maybe I can sell for
Mhm.
150, 160 is a way different.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and I get that, and again, I want you to get the most for your property. I just I fear that I guess I'm wasting your time. I just don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time either. But again, that if I come back with 100 and you say no, and then I try to get a little bit more from my finance manager, and then you say no again, then we're kind of just going in circles. So I just want to know, I guess, kind of how serious you are about it. And if I were to come up to that $100,000 mark, if it's something that you would want to move forward with. If not, I completely understand, and I'll stop bothering you. But if it does seem like something that you might consider, even slightly, I'd love to give you a call back, kind of reconnect, and let you know some of the facts of the neighborhood that I was able to discover. Maybe get you a few properties close to your house that we're looking at to assess the value.
Let me tell you this, maybe if we not close well, my numbers, don't waste your time. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out here. What is your number? I know you said that you want 150, 160,
Yeah.
but that the tax assessed value is something closer to 110, and I'm at 80. What number do I have to be at?
Like I say, if we not close the 150,
Hmm.
don't waste your time.
Okay,
So,
okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
right now.
Yeah, and I appreciate your honesty, and hopefully you can appreciate my honesty as well. I just won't be able to. I'm not the right buyer for you at that price. Not to say that there's not a right buyer for you at that price, but it just wouldn't be me. So, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
No problem.
If anything changes on your end, please feel free to save my number and reach out. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Hugo. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye now. He's dreaming, which is all right. It's all good. Again, his circumstances may change. His daughter may move out. He may need a new tenant. He may need something. I don't know. But yeah, that's not it. He wants 150, 160. His estimate is 156. I know for certain I wasn't lying about that property in Pasadena. That was my first deal, was in Pasadena. The ARV, or after repair value, of that one was 170. I believe it was about 100 square feet bigger than this property. It just had one less bathroom. So it depends, but those you can kind of offset. In this area, people aren't going crazy over one bathroom places, but it's doable. This is an appreciating market, though. This little subsector of Houston, Pasadena, but I don't think that he's tripping on getting 150 to 160 for his place, um, especially if it looks like the pictures that are in on Zillow right now. Um, Livable, not by any means ARV. I think he may be able to get like 120, 130 if he lists it on market and be able to walk with something close to 100, which is why it's so frustrating. I could say that to him, but he's not going to buy it. He's just going to be like, oh, this dude. They're connected with seller. Seller wants 150 to 160K, but mentioned tax assess at 110. Derek offered 80. Hugo has his head in the clouds. I'll follow up with him in 3 months, beginning of next year. Beginning of next year. And at that point, I'll just say, hey, just wanted to round back, kind of maybe act a little oblivious as to what his asking price was, maybe not be so forward about knowing exactly what he's looking for, so that I can maybe, have him throw out a lower number. Glad I connected with him, though. Glad I had that conversation. Glad that I made him an offer. That's all it really comes down to, is how many offers you can make. Because I can make that same offer to 20 different people, and one of them might take it. This guy stated he wasn't interested right now, but I received permission to follow up with him in 1 to 2 months. That was back in June. I called him in August. No answer. Gonna call him right now. This is one that I should have been more actively following up with by the looks of it, but Hoping to connect with him now. Same exact thing. Same estimate on this 156. Same area.
But the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been.
Give it a second, let it breathe, and then I'm gonna double tap them. Same area, same estimate, same. So this one, okay, is a 3-1 instead of a 3-2, but this one is 100 square feet bigger. It's almost exactly like I was just saying, and this one's the same exact estimate. So you can kind of see how those offset there. And I would think that this is exactly the type of property where I think they could probably take down about 170 after everything is done, after all the repairs are made, and after they list it on the open market. So this is one. I'm just trying my best to source as many leads from this area because my buyer is hungry for them in this specific area. He has multiple projects going on in this, maybe not this exact zip code on this property, but same city, Pasadena. It's not a very big city. So if I can get something else here, I know that he will take it. And I pretty much know exactly where he needs to be because he's already bought something from, well, not bought something. He didn't buy the property, but I assigned my interest in the property to him. So I know where he kind of needs to be. He was all in on the property, not all in, but before repairs, he essentially offered me, what was it? 70. He bought the place at 70. That place was going to be a full gut rehab down to the studs. It was probably going to need about $60,000 worth of repairs. So as long as I can get a place, you know, again, I just know. So if I get a place in similar condition to that, I know that I have to be below 70. If I get a place that needs $20,000 less in repairs, I just need to be below 90. If that makes sense. So it's kind of something to keep in the back of my head when I'm calling any properties in this specific area. Gonna give him another call right now. Just double tap him real quick. Make sure that he knows I mean business.
Hello.
Hey, Alfredo.
Señor.
Alfredo, how's it going? This is Derek. We had spoke a few months back in regards to your property over on Trim Avenue.
Oh, I'm not interested right now, sir.
Okay, no problem, no problem. You think you might be interested in selling maybe sometime in the near future?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so just to let you know, I won't take too much of your time. It's my partner and myself. We really like the area over there in Pasadena, and we have some cash on hand. So we are looking to buy a house, maybe two houses within the next, 1 to 2 months here, and we can pay cash, and we can, do it fairly quickly as well. If that's something that you're interested in, we'd be able to get you paid in maybe 30 to 45 days. So if it's something that you're interested, please feel free to save my number. Reach out if anything changes. Again, my name is Derek, and you can feel free to save my number as Derek House Buyer. And if it's all right with you, if it's appropriate for me to follow up, say towards the end of this year, just to see how things are with you.
Yeah, please. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. So I'll give you a call maybe towards the end of the year, early next year, just see how things are. And again, if anything changes on your end where you think that you may want to sell it and you want a cash offer, please feel free to save my number and reach out. This is my direct line.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you, Alfredo. Have a good one. All right. Bye. Just planting the seed, planting the seed. I like to slip the benefits in there when they say no, not right now, or like, I just feel like that's a good way to leave it. Like, all right, that's fine. Is it all right with you if I call you in a little bit? And just so you know, if anything changes from now till then, before I call you back, this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get somebody paid quickly for their house. If that's what you're interested in, and if anything changes and you feel like, you know what, maybe I do want to get quick cash for my house, call me. Connected with seller. I'm glad that double tap panned out too. Again, you hit them once, they're like, what's number is this? You hit them twice, they're like, this This person's really trying to get a hold of me, but it still could be a telemarketer. You call them 3 times, they're gonna think that their newborn baby is being born in the hospital, and they got to rush over there. Not to say that I triple tap everybody, but sometimes I do. Connected with seller, not right now. Gave permission to follow up at end of year. That's good. Push that out 2 months. Call them in December. That's the type of no where I'm going to follow up like every 3 months, if not more frequently, because you hear it in his tone of voice. He's saying he's considering it. He doesn't want to deal with it right now. This is one where I'm gonna call her one more time, and I'm gonna trash this lead if she doesn't answer. I called her in July. My notes here says she seemed to have been busy. She stated she was not interested right now. When I asked in the near future, she said yes. And then I said, when's a more appropriate time to follow up? She said next week. So I was like, all right. So I've been on her. That was the 5th of July. I called her, left her a voicemail on the 12th of July, called her, no answer on the 14th of July, called her, left a voicemail on the 28th of July, called, left a voicemail on the 11th of August, called, no answer on the 31st of August. So it's been about a little over a month since I last tried her. I'm hoping to connect with her, see if there is interest or if she was just yanking my chain.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number.
I'm gonna double tap her, let it breathe for a second. His estimate on this one's 117, one bath, close to 2,000 square feet. Let's see if I can, how quickly I can calm this. I let this breathe and give her a call in 1 minute. Comps in the area, going back a year, 1950 square feet. I'll pull it down to 1750 minimum and 2200 max. Distance, half-mile out. Keep it apples to apples by choosing residential single family. Year built 1948. I'll drop it down to 1935 up to 1960. When the properties get older like that, you can kind of push the spreads out a little bit on the year built, because you're really looking to compare, like, what's the word that Jamil uses? Jamil Damji is where I got this from. It's like when you're comparing like a 2000, a year built 2000 property, you want to compare it to like 2005 to 1995, because the more recent it gets, the more frequently there are substantial like updates to the market, right? So, but back in the day, it was just like the same type of construction periods is what I think he refers to it as. So if you're looking at a property from 1920, it may be pretty similar to a property that's built in 1950. Whereas if you're looking at a property in 1995 compared to 2005, they may be completely different. So I ranted. I didn't run comps. Well, I did. I just couldn't find any, I guess, that close. Let me push. No, I'll push it back a year. So now I'm looking at property sold within the last 2 years. Still nothing. I'll push it out to a mile. Still nothing. I may be doing something incorrect here. I don't think I am, though. Maybe it's just the square feet. I'll drop it down to another 100 in each direction. Yep, okay. Here's one. It didn't sell. It was just listed for rent. Yeah, I don't like this property anyways. I can't get any comps on it, but we'll call her back and see what's going on. I hate when that happens.
not available.
So I won't get rid of it, but I'm gonna start pushing this one out pretty much every 3 months. Follow up with her at the beginning of next year. Not on that date. Right. Just running through them today, to be honest. Just trying to. The gentleman mentioned that she is not wanting to do anything like that, and she said she was really sick in the hospital. I think he may have been overly caught up in the moment and stressed how sick she was, but didn't necessarily have the authority to be making the decision on the property on her behalf. That was a note that I left for myself about this property here. But I'll be honest, that's the conversation that I'm not wanting to have. This guy has a lot. He has a lot, like a vacant lot that it would be a new construction play. The lot is cleared already. There's no demo that needs to be done. If anything, it would just need to be like the foliage or the trees that need to be cleared in order to actually make it build ready, and then hook up the utilities. But I offered him 50,000. I offered him pretty much 50,000. I said that I needed to get approval for it, but that he would talk about it with his wife, and then he started ghosting me, started ignoring me, which is understandable. But he was like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." He wasn't expecting 50,000. It would be a small spread for myself. I think I'd probably be able to get 55, maybe 60 for it if I was lucky. But yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Francisco.
What's up?
Francisco, how's it going? This is Derek.
Oh, Derek. What's up,
Yeah.
man?
Hey, just wanted to round back. We've been talking about your lot over there on North 7th Street out in LaPorte. I just wanted to kind of revisit and see how things were with you.
Yeah.
How you doing? Is everything good?
Yeah, so far, yeah, everything is fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How things have been all right with I think you had the house down the street too, right?
Yeah, I live in a house. Pretty good, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to reconnect. I know last we spoke, I tossed some numbers around, and I think that you were wanting to speak with your wife about it. I just wanted to see if you guys, had that opportunity, or if you guys have had any more conversations about possibly selling that lot there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, bro. How much did you pay when you give it to us?
So right now, I have the authority to offer you 45,000 cash, and that's us covering all the costs, all the fees. So as long as you don't owe anything on the property, you could walk away with 45,000. The only thing that we wouldn't cover is like any taxes that are owed or anything like that that's still owed on the property. What do you think about the 45?
Wow.
Hello?
45, huh?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
No, let me see what happened later. See.
I'm sorry?
Tell me what happened later. Maybe another 6 months, a year, so I want to still keep to see what happened later, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Just out of curiosity, if you don't sell it, to me or anybody else anytime soon, what's your plan for it?
I was planning to build a house up there myself.
You were gonna build one?
A house, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what we would end up doing with it too. So, have you started looking into it? Have you started getting some quotes and stuff?
No, not yet, but we'll see,
Yeah,
I want to try to save a little more money, and then I can start building my own house.
sure. No, I completely understand. Well, let me ask you, how do you feel about that price?
That sounds like a low, It's too low,
Okay. Well, and I understand that. Obviously it's your piece of property. you to, not only want to get money, but you deserve to get paid for it. It was your investment and you should be able to make a return on it. Let me ask, what number would make you feel a little bit more comfortable moving forward?
How much you think they can give us a fair price? What do you think that you can have a good
Yeah,
price?
yeah. 45,000 is pretty much the top where we would be. Like we kind of talked last time. What I can do is,
Yeah.
if it is something that you're interested in, and it seems like you're willing to and ready to move forward, I can talk with my finance manager, and I can try to get approval for another 5,000. Would if I was able to do that and I was able to get the authority to offer you 50,000 cash, is that something that you'd be, ready to move forward with?
That's that sounds pretty good money.
What's that?
I said that sounds pretty good money.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's what I'm saying. Just to kind of reiterate, since it's land, we would need a little bit of time just to do some due diligence so that we can get our plans approved by the county. But I'm talking getting you paid 50,000 cash in a couple of months.
What do you think that you want to do in the house or what?
Yeah, that's probably what we would end up doing. Um, is building a house. Yeah, and that's why we would need that time. What we would need to do is put together a plan for the house, and then we would have to submit that to the city to get approval for it. So that's how the process would what it would look like. Me and you would come to an agreement. We would put an agreement together, and then I would ask for 30, 60 days to do due diligence so that we have time to get those plans approved. And then once they get approved, then we can go ahead and wire you the money. I hear it.
Let me think a little bit more time.
Sure, sure. And I absolutely, I get it. I get it. It's a big decision, and I want to make sure let you know that I don't take it lightly either. I know that this is your piece of property. I don't want to have to convince you to sell it. I want it to be your decision, and I want you to feel comfortable with it. Not only you, but I want you and your wife to be on the same page as well. So, do me a favor, have that conversation with her because you're completely correct. $50,000 cash it's a lot of money and something that we're willing to do for you here. So have that conversation. If it's all right with you, if you think that you can have that conversation with her with over the next few days, is it all right with you if I follow up, say in another week or two, just to round back and see how you guys are feeling about it?
Yeah, just one, see what I'm thinking, and then I will have a decision for that time.
Sure, sure. Perfect. All right. So I'll give you a call in a week or so. If you have any questions when you're talking about it with your wife, about what it would look like, how the process would work, please feel free to save my number. Reach out. This is my direct line, so you'll connect with me, and I'll be able to hopefully answer any questions or concerns that you may have when you're having that conversation.
All right, Daddy.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Perfect. I hope you have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon, Francisco.
All right.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes the offer. 50,000 is a lot of money, and that's what he says every time. It's funny when I say 45, he's like, I feel like it's a little low. This has happened twice now. And then when I go, if I can get approval for 50, would you be willing to do that? And he's like, 50,000 is a lot of money. He said that twice now. So he likes it. He's on the fence. This is where I know if I had some more sales skills and was able to shorten his timeline, he's gonna sell it, and I'm gonna be the one to buy it. It's just a matter of when, because he's gonna realize a year is gonna go by. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed that it's not that much time, but some time is gonna pass, and he's gonna be like, "I'm not gonna build a fucking house. What was I thinking?" Like, oh, I was way in over my head. Which I don't know if he has the financial means or the time or the connections or network to be able to build a house. Maybe he does, but I would think if he's willing to consider 50,000 for the lot, he probably doesn't. He's looking for the cash. And I don't mean to prejudge him or to like cast judgment on him or a situation, but again, the fact that he's even willing to consider a cash offer on the lot just to wipe his hands clean with it means that there is something in the back of his head at the very least that is telling him, you are in no position to build a house on this lot. So that was pretty much the same exact conversation that I had with him last time. I think I need to be a little bit more persistent in following up with him more diligently, more frequently, and ensuring that he actually has that conversation with his wife, because it doesn't sound like he actually has. Reconnected with seller. Derek reiterated offer of 50K. Gave him 1 to 2 weeks to talk about it with his wife. He is interested. Boom. Yeah, he's on the hook. He just needs to be pushed off the fence. And I'm hoping that I'm able to do that. I really am. This is one again where it's going to be this will be my first land play, but I do know, which is kind of the things that I was mentioning to him. I know what's going on, and I know that builders, developers need that window of time to do exactly what I was saying. They need to get their plans approved. So it's not like a single family where they can just walk the property and be like, yeah, I think this is going to take about 40,000 in repairs. We're good. For land, they need to look at the property, get a survey, a land survey done to ensure that the property lines are where they are, and then they need to draw up blueprints, submit plans to the city, get approved, and they need. It sounds like 30 days at the minimum. I'm gonna have to check with my coach on that, but it sounds like 90 days is preferred. And sometimes if it's a big development play, they may take 6 months to a year to get that type of stuff lined up. So I just wanted to plant the seed with the seller to let him know that it's not going to be like a, boom, boom, you get paid money in your pocket, but it kind of still is compared to an on market deal. So I'll follow up with him in a week or something like that. I see somebody in here. If you're in here, do me the biggest favor. It will make my week on this Friday. Go ahead, hit that like button. I would appreciate you so greatly. And do me another favor, since I want to foster a community type of vibes in here. If you're able to, and not like driving your car or something like that, drop a comment with your name. That would be really cool to me. I want to be able to start connecting with the people who are viewing. But if you don't feel comfortable, by all means, don't. I just want to be able. I got a few people who are on here nowadays that are kind of regulars, and really want to be able to tailor my content to the early viewers, since obviously the channel is fairly new. And before I do have plans on getting a lot more viewers. So before the viewers start coming in and the subscribers start coming in, and it starts to become a little bit overwhelming for me, I'd love to be able to start tailoring the content towards the early viewers and get them what they're trying to learn. There's no one, not right now, but maybe in the future. This was almost a year ago that she said that, December 2020. Follow up with her. See what's going on. There's a big follow-up day for me. Hello, this message is for Miss Miller. My name is Derek. We had spoke towards the end of last year about your property over on West Austin Street out in Conroe. At the time, you had let me know that there was no real interest in wanting to sell the property there, but you'd let me know that you possibly might entertain it in the near future. So I just wanted to round back with you, reconnect, and see if you've given it any more thought, and if you were interested in possibly receiving a cash offer on your property there. If you are and you'd like to give me a call back at your earliest convenience, it'd be much appreciated. Again, my name is Derek, and my direct line is. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I actually see that she said around June of this year. which is why she's on kind of a 3-month follow-up. I'll do the same thing, follow up with her in about 3 months. I'm going to call a few more here. If I'm unable to connect, I got to get going. I got to take my dog out. Oh, I'm going to call that woman back. That's what I'm going to do right now. Call that woman back because it's been a while. Or it's been 15 minutes past what she said. Okay, maybe I'll call one person before her. Seller called me back and mentioned she was in the middle of something once Derek brought up the property. Might be worth giving her another call. That's not one that I think I might even just take them off. This one, I need a Spanish speaker. If you're watching this and you are interested in wholesaling and are bilingual, Spanish speaking, contact me. I have a whole pool of seller leads that are probably pretty good leads. They just need a Spanish speaker. This guy says he wants to sell his property and buy a new one. Says he wants 110,000, but I honestly think he just threw that number out there. But he wanted a Spanish speaker to reach back out to him because he was really difficult to understand and didn't speak very good English. So his estimate's 90,000, which is why I think he just threw that number out there. But I think he would take something. I think he would take something reasonable. So I'm just gonna push that one out. I keep pushing those leads out until I connect with somebody who's able to. Here's another one, Spanish speaker. Said no right away, but then asked how much. Let him know that it depends on the condition and try to pull a price out of him after listing the benefits. He said he didn't have a number in mind and maybe sometime in the future. I called him 2 months later, preferred somebody to call him in Spanish, did not confirm whether or not he was interested in selling. It's another one, if anything, just to get on the phone with these people to confirm or deny their interest in receiving an offer. Those are kind of, I think, my. Wait. Oh yeah. I gotta come through here and clean these up because a lot of these aren't very good leads anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna call this one more time. And if they don't answer, put them on a 3-month follow-up. They are currently on a 1-month follow-up. Very hot lead. Talked with the gentleman one time. Haven't heard from him since.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Sorry, the mailbox belonging to.
Yeah, that's been the case for a very long time. Spoke with a gentleman. Hopefully, I don't just say this stuff to throw it out there. I kind of want to put it in its perspective how diligently I'm following up with these people. I don't know if it's correct in how I'm, how I'm following up with these people, but I know that the money's in the follow-up. So I first connected with this gentleman June 7th, 2021. He kept talking about how bad the place was, how everything was original. The condition was horrible. He lives there alone. It was his parents' place, but his father passed away and his mom moved out. Nobody was taking care of the property. He mentioned that I was the first person that he would speak with, but that they were going to start fielding offers. Lots of plumbing issues after the recent snowstorm. Didn't have a price in mind, but mentioned that he has an estimate, which I think he was referring to as the tax assessed value of 60,000, and that he mentioned that he knows that he wasn't going to be able to get anything close to that because of the condition of the property. He was saying this stuff, and it was music to my ears. I was like, oh my gosh, like he'll take less than 60. But his sister sounds like a decision maker on the property as well as his mother because it's in his mother's name. So he just lives there. I ran my comps. My max would probably be like 45, probably like more like 40, if the place is in that bad a condition. Um, and then, so again, June 7th, I first connected with him. Called him on June 8th, double tapped him, no answer, mailbox full. Called him June 9th, double tap, no answer, mailbox full. June 10th, no answer, no, unable to leave a voicemail. 2 weeks later, double tapped him, nothing. One day after that, called, nothing. 2 days after that, called, nothing. 5 days after that, called, nothing. Uh, 4 days after that, called, nothing. 10 days after that, called, nothing. 9 days after that, called, nothing. Um, 3 weeks after that, dialed, no answer. 5 days after that, double tap, nothing. 3 weeks after that, dialed, no answer. A month after that, dialed, no answer. So I'm gonna start pushing them out to 3 months, and it comes to the point now where I may even send him a handwritten letter to his mailing address to try to get a hold of him, because this is one that I'm not gonna give up on. He was talking too good to be true numbers to be able to just let this one slip through the cracks. I will remove his status as a warm lead though, and just make him a follow up within my CRM/dialer. Now I'm going to give this woman a call. This will be the last woman I call. Alice is her name. She told me that she was going to call me at 4, which was about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to let her know that I'm thinking about heading out of the office soon, so I wanted to make sure I gave her a call and connected with her before I left.
Please leave your message for
Hey Alice, this is Derek. I was getting ready to head out of the office for the day, and I just wanted to give you a call. I hadn't heard back from you. Just wanted to make sure that I tried to reconnect with you before I left. If you wanted to give me a call, either sometime tomorrow or the next day, whenever you're able to take a step away from work, please feel free to reach out to my direct line here, which is 832. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. No answer. Dial left voicemail. I'm gonna call her back tomorrow. So was able to clear out a good chunk of leads here. Follow up. Had like 2 good conversations, I'd say. On one with the lot, another with that house with his daughter living in it. His head was in the clouds a little bit. Got a bunch that I can still follow up with, but I'm gonna end it here. Only because I've followed up with everybody who I'm really wanting to follow up with. Anything else is kind of just like a really, really on the cold end of my warm leads. Nobody is number no longer in service. Yeah. Nobody else is really hot, so to speak. Which means I need to get back on the dialer. 2 things that I'm implementing now is I made the transition from Mojo Dialer over to Call Tools. I need a headset in order to dial in on Call Tools. I ordered one, so that should be coming in the mail in the next couple of days here, hopefully. I'm also implementing a new texting software where I'm going to start sending out mass texts to sellers. I was able to get a good price on it through my coaching program, and the price on it just makes so much sense to implement. As long as I'm staying consistent with that, I'll definitely be able to get my money's worth. Just to put it into perspective, I'm going to be able to send out 4 times as many texts as some of the leading kind of competitors for text software in the industry. Again, at the same price. That's what I was meaning to say, is that I'll be able to send out at the same price about 4 times as many texts. So definitely excited about that, interested in that, and looking forward to implementing that and start some conversations there. I'm going to take it a little slow at first. I don't want to get in over my head and start blasting out 1,000 text messages a day. Probably keep it some down to like 100, 200. I just want to have at least like one or two people entertain a conversation with me per day before I start really going hard on it and like sending out, 500,000 texts a day. But with that being said, I also know that that's not a very absurd amount. I know even the small players who are doing this, who have their systems refined a bit, they're sending out 1,000 texts a day, because you get the response rate of like 20 to 35 at most. So like looking at like a third, essentially, like max, of text that you send out responses. And with those amount of responses, you're gonna get a lot of no's. So if I send out 1,000, I'll probably get 300 that actually reply, which is a good response rate. I think this is something that I'm having to study as well. But out of those 300, I would imagine that like 3 to 5 are gonna start talking something reasonable, you know, uh, or even just raising their hand saying I'm interested. Everybody else is gonna, fuck you, take me off your list, all types of stuff. So it kind of pretty much does. You pretty much do need to do that type of volume if you want to generate leads consistently. So really excited about that. Hoping to really get going on that come probably Monday. I'll get my phone numbers loaded up in there and my new skip trace list. I've been kind of going hard on generating properties by driving for dollars virtually here. If you are interested in the driving for dollars, I dropped like a 3-part mini series on my YouTube channel. You can go check that out. Appreciate whoever was just in here that dropped a like. I really do appreciate that. I'm starting to, at first I didn't really take the YouTube thing seriously, and I still haven't. Obviously, I'm just on my computer like this, but I took a moment to kind of go back through my older videos, and it's gonna sound corny for me to say this, but you hear all the big YouTubers talk about how it really helps the algorithm when you hit the like and you comment, and I found that to be true. Uh, my highest performing videos, my highest performing live streams are the ones where people have commented, specifically commented. Um, so if you took anything away from this, or I always gonna invite and open it up to recommendations or suggestions or type of content that you want to see moving forward. Please let me know. You know, drop a comment, drop a like, even if you didn't watch the whole video, but you like the vibes that are going here. I know somebody, J Lep is like my biggest fan, biggest supporter right now, and that's pretty much what he says. I just like the vibes of the video. I enjoy the content and the flow of it all. So even if it's just that, let me know. Drop a comment, drop a like. I really do appreciate it. And if it's something that you're really enjoying and you're wanting to keep up with my process, my progress. Again, my name is Derek. I've done 2 virtual deals here. Staying as consistent as possible on the lead generation so that I can get some more in the pipeline and start closing some more on a more frequent basis. Those 2 deals came in the last 2 months. I kind of am falling behind on my goal that I set for myself to start closing 1 a month moving forward. But as long as I get an agreement here in the next couple of weeks and try to close it out quickly, I very well could close something out in the month of October. So again, if you're interested, if you like to follow along my journey and my process, this is really what this channel is going to be for. By no means, and I always try to give this disclaimer, by no means is this supposed to be I know what I'm doing, let me tell you how to do it. Because again, I'm new to it. I'm a newbie. I've only done 2 deals. So, take it with a grain of salt. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. And I want to do the most that I can to throw that disclaimer out there. But at the same time, I know that there are people out there who are on YouTube wanting to find content like this because they've only done 1 deal, or they haven't done any deals, or they are just learning what wholesaling is. And I hope to at least be the guiding light for them, to point them in the right direction to somebody else on YouTube who may be able to elaborate a little bit more on the concepts that I'm talking about. So, again, appreciate all you guys. Can't stress that enough. And what I was gonna say is, if you like the content enough and you like the vibes, or you want to follow along, please do subscribe. I'm not going to make it mandatory or anything like that. But it really does help. It really does. So appreciate you. I'm probably going to hop on Monday. Maybe if I find time tomorrow to hop on, I'll cold call a little bit, but I don't think I will find time, to be honest. I'm running errands and stuff. So probably see you guys Monday. Gonna hop on, try to do a little bit of everything, trying to cold call, generate some new leads, follow up with all the leads that I have set for myself to follow up with on Monday, as well as some of the ones that I didn't get to today, and try to continue that conversation with a few that I did connect with today. And then I also may talk like cash buyers or something. I want to start talking disposition end of things as well, because I know that people are interested in that type of content too. So appreciate you. Check you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Peace.